Hey guys, my name's Ally and I've dealt with both depression and anorexia. I was probably a sophomore when I first started going through my depressive stages. I was 16 and a half and I was dealing with a lot at home. And it started with depression. I didn't know how to deal with everything I was going through, so I started to shut down and shut off from a lot of people and basically from reality. I lived in my room. I didn't talk to people really. I just was very to myself, and it was slow at first and then it got worse. I started having thoughts. Suicide crossed my mind, but it was more thoughts of not wanting to be here, wanting to run away. I didn't want to deal with life. Most nights I cried myself to sleep. There was periods where I'd find myself crying at school, like, what sophomore girl wants to cry her way through school? Like, I got very sick to my stomach just thinking about everything. I think that's where I started not eating. It's not like it was a choice at first. At first I just wanted to eat, but I was sick to my stomach. Food had nothing. I had no appetite for anything. And I started losing a lot of weight quickly. And losing weight, I saw myself getting skinnier and losing those thighs that I never really liked, or my arms got really tiny. And after I noticed these changes, that's when I think my eating habits started to go more towards anorexia, because then I started telling myself, no, don't eat, don't do this. Food is something you don't need. And that's when I started not eating. I ate probably one meal a day, and that meal consisted of food for a kindergartner. Like, it was not that much food, but I had to eat something, because if I didn't, people would get suspicious. Some days I did purge. I would eat, and then whoever saw me eating knew I was eating, so it wasn't a big, oh, Ally, you need to start eating, you're getting so tiny. And then I'd go and throw it all up. And it was hard. It was hard to deal with. I think both go hand in hand, depression and my anorexia. They really played off each other. I was fortunate to not go so far into being anorexic. I weighed 100 pounds on a good day. That was if I was lucky. That's if I forced myself to eat as much as I could, which was not a lot. I constantly weighed myself all the time. And if I wasn't focusing on eating, I was crying myself to the point where the only thing I would do is cry and listen to music, and I felt like a depressed emo kid. But at one point I thought, maybe, this is what I need to do. This is how it's supposed to be for me. And it was very hard to realize that there was more to me and who I need to be. And it wasn't until I started having to go to the doctor all the time. I was getting very sick, very weak. My mom, she'd always been like, Ally, we aren't eating, but she took me in and the doctor talked to me about my depression, put me on medication, said that there is ways to deal with it. I could try therapy, I could be on different medication. I was put on anxiety medicine. I had really bad anxiety. I had to drink special drinks to make me gain weight. He said if I had lost 10 more pounds, I would be in serious trouble. I would have to probably go to a rehab of some sort, just because of how tall I was compared to how much weight I had lost. My body just wasn't matching up. It was hard. It was hard. I think the hardest part was forcing myself to eat again, because once you get in that mindset, it's like, you don't want to eat. It's just like, that's your daily routine. But I worked my way through it. Every day was a struggle. I was put in therapy for both my depression and my eating, and I worked through it. And I took my medicine, and I forced myself to eat 3 meals a day, as much as I could, to gain back some weight. And I'm doing great now. I think taking a stand and realizing that you're worth something more than what this disease is doing to you is a big part of it, and you have to focus on you. And today I still struggle. I mean, if something bad happens, I want to just crawl in a ball and cry myself and not come out of it. But I have to force myself, because I don't want to go down that road again. I don't want to be medicated and have to watch, and force myself to eat. I find myself like saying, oh, Ally, you don't need this food. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. But I have to remember that I need to eat. It's a part of life. And it's a struggle, but it's one that I think is worth fighting for. It's life, and no one said it was going to be easy, but it's life. But I'm really glad that I went through it, and I think I'm a stronger person because of it. And I'm really glad that I'm doing better. But that's my story. And I want everyone who's watching this to realize that if you are depressed or have an eating disorder, that you need to take a stand and stand up for yourself, because you're worth so much more than this disease that you think is all you can be. So take a stand and realize you are so much more worth than what you're doing to yourself. Thank you.